your local sports attendance getter. It's 4D Sports. Come listen to the Sports Stars of tomorrow.
Good afternoon, everybody. You're listening to 4D Sports Talk AM station. 1320 AM WAI, and I believe Coach on the line with us. Coach, are you with us? Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, we can hear you perfect, because I know you.
I could barely hear her.
I can barely hear either.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
How about that? Is that better?
How about now, guys?
Is that
There's a little bit, but it's still far away.
I'm going to get some critics here, Coach. I don't know what to do with them.
What about now if I take you off speaker?
How's that? Is that better?
Sounds better.
I know what to do with this. How's that sound? Hey, Coach.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that's
Loud
much
and
better
clear.
now.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I know you're probably hiding in the room closet somewhere, Coach.
That is true. I am in a call room, so I'm kind of in a conscious block here.
Now, it's Consalvi. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
It is Consalvi. It's an Italian last name by marriage only.
Oh, my God. That's not a bad thing. I'm an Italiano.
There you go. No, it's not a bad thing at all, but when you see me, people are like, you don't look Italian.
Oh, my God. That's stereotyping. You get in trouble for that now, you know.
I know.
Oh, well, welcome to 4D Sports Talk. People are just jumping in. We have first-year head coach and longtime assistant coach, Carrie Consalvi, over at Taunton High School. And she got her first official win under her belt. You guys played Stoughton, right? Is that correct?
We did. Yep, correct.
And what was the score of that game?
12-0.
So, wow.
Wow, 12-0. Wow,
Well,
impressive.
remember, she has a couple college kids playing for her, too.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow.
She has a white girl. And who are the other kids going to college next year? White and Villanova.
Correct, and then I have Mackenzie McAloon, who is going to Bryant, who will play under French, and then I have Hannah Aldrich, who's going to be playing at Lehigh. So not only are they playing Division I, they're all playing at how we say, quote-unquote, smart schools, all really bright kids.
Yeah, absolutely. So the crew will just introduce themselves as they go along with the coach. You know me, obviously, and you've seen the
Yep.
show. So the guys will introduce themselves as they ask questions, and the table opens. So who wants to go first? Joe?
Yeah, I can take this one. Okay, in both 1998 and 1999, you led the Bridgewater State Bears to T3 World Series. How do you think your experience with the playoffs has lend itself to your coaching?
Great question. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so definitely that type of experience of playing in a high-pressure environment is definitely going to relate to playing in Taunton on a daily basis. As you know, Taunton High School has a long history of success in playing competitively, multiple state championships. So, I'm definitely used to that pressure environment when everything's on the line and you need to win and you're expected to win and you want to win. So I've had, as you guys know, we've gone to, MASCAC championships and then won regional tournaments and then going to essentially the top 8 in the country out of, I believe at that time, over 350 schools. You're surrounded by the best of the best, all, strive for that common goal. And being there and being through that and understanding the pressure and, most of the time being able to, persevere and perform at that level, hopefully will lend a hand at a very similar, competitive environment at the high school.
Yeah, I know Taunton's been in the playoffs for 36 straight years, so I think your expertise will come in handy for sure.
Thank you. I hope I have some big shoes to fill. They've only actually, it's very interesting, the history there. Essentially, over the past 30 years, there's only been 2 coaches, meaning not a lot of turnover, which is very rare in the high school setting, especially in the last decade. 2 gentlemen who were very committed to the program and making sure that it succeeded over both of their reigns. So definitely big shoes to fill.
Yeah, Drac Tripp and Dave Laurie, right?
Correct, yeah.
One of the questions I have for you, and actually Joe helped me out and worked into it. What did you learn? What were one of the big assets that you learned, or big keys you learned from Coach Laurie?
So I didn't actually ever coach with Dave. I coached in the rec leagues and the travel teams in the Taunton area, but I have never coached with him. I have had the pleasure over the last year and through COVID getting to know Dave a little bit, who has obviously, he's first of all I don't know him from a player standpoint, but just a very bright and knowledgeable softball coach, and definitely has a good eye for the game. He also strikes me in some ways as patient, and he's also very kind. So he's been nothing but helpful, to me and for me through this transition. I can't tell you how many times I've reached out with him with questions. He's always right there to help and lend a helping hand, and it just shows his dedication and how this program is to him. I'm sure his decision to move on from it was not an easy one, and he's been nothing, like I said, but helpful in transition from him to me.
That's awesome. So one of the other wrenches we're going to throw at you, we should be hearing from Tom Joyce from the Quincy Sun and Nate Rollins from the Woodland Hanson Express. They usually call in and we'll throw some questions at us. I don't want to overwhelm you too soon, Coach.
Okay.
All right, who do you guys?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Hey, Coach, it's Catherine Conley, a.k.a. KC, and my question for you is, can you tell us how you first got into softball?
Sure. I mean, I started as a player probably at the age of, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11. I actually started playing baseball because when I was growing up, there was no softball in the Central Mass area. So I actually played baseball in Little League. I had a neighbor whose mom was a coach for Farm League baseball, and then went on to she was a female coach at the Little League level. And I lived next door to them, and I actually owe everything to her. Mrs. Rich was her name, and she gave me my first glove and taught me how to throw and how to go out there and play with boys and not scared. So that's what started my journey. And then when I got to junior high, again, because there was no rec softball programs where I lived, I switched over and started playing softball in junior high in 7th grade. And I moved up pretty quickly to the varsity team at a young age there. And then I believe I was the first player from my high school to actually play back then, which we considered, Junior Olympic or AAU softball. I had to travel. I'm from a small town in Central Mass called Barry. I played at Quabbin High School, and I had to travel into the big city of Worcester, Shrewsbury, to play on travel in that area. So that was sort of a big deal. I mean, this is well over 20 years ago now.
What do you got on there?
Okay. Hello, Coach. This is Justin Pereira, the Sports Master. And my question for you is, even though you're in a tough spot with a new job, because like you said, you have big shoes to fill, are you excited for it?
Oh, Justin, I couldn't be any more excited. I mean, what an opportunity I have before me. I mean, I love the sport of softball. I've always been passionate about softball. And getting this job, I am what I consider in Massachusetts to sort of be the mecca, of softball. I mean, Taunton is definitely a city that just grows softball players, with well-established rec programs and multiple travel teams. Parents who are very supportive of their children and get involved with coaching and playing. It is such a great place and honor to be a coach, no doubt. And you can see it with obviously the program success over the years, but, year after year, hungry players, talented players, now players who are moving forward and playing at the Division I level. I honestly couldn't be any more excited to be where I am with the team that I'm with and the players that I have.
So we were, I'm sorry, if you're calling 508-222, 508-222-1320, if you want to talk to Coach. We have an open line. We're about a couple minutes left from our first break, Coach. So hopefully we'll have you for the hour. I know work takes precedence, and we completely appreciate you taking your day and helping us out and educating the people that don't know. Coach over at Taunton High School. Again, 508-222-1320. I want to give a quick shout out to Luz Cabral, who will be with me tonight for the basketball ceremony we're going to have over at Audrey's Restaurant in East Bridgewater, as we nominate the basketball boys and girls West Players of the Year. And again, Luz is taking care of her mother. My prayers go to her and her family. Hope everything's going to the mom. So with that being said, I was trying to work this into the first commercial that didn't work out. I've got 18 left. But this isn't working out too good. I was looking at the pocket, which I was trying to be one of those suave DJs that can work those in the commercial, but it ain't working out right now. But so let's talk about the upcoming kids filling in shoes. Let's talk about them for a minute, if you can.
So meaning,
up and coming.
Yeah, so we have definitely some younger talent. I mean, we have the obvious, talent of Hannah Aldrich and Mackenzie McAloon behind the dish this year, and Kelsey White, obviously, on the mound. But we also have some kids who maybe haven't had as much varsity playing time who are stepping up nicely for us. We have senior Taya DaCosta playing at third base. Comes with some nice hands and a good bat. We have other sophomore, Kylie Stork, who's filling in second for us. And Hale Proctor, another big sophomore over at first base, comes along with a really big bat. And we're definitely aided by some speed. So along with all that power, we have some speed by Ian Lynch, Kylie, and another Aldrich, Haley Aldrich, who I'm, slowly, actually learning to love, comes with a lot of funk. She's a slap hitter from the left side. She's speedy. She's smart. Her and Ashley Amaro are all splitting some time in right field for us. Both track the ball well. Ashley Amaro has a big arm from that right side. So, yeah, I mean, the talent kind of keeps just coming through. And these kids, players continue to step up and fill in the hole from their predecessors from, the year before. Or 2 years before, I should say now, because the last time anybody was in these fields was in 2019, as everybody knows.
That's absolutely nuts. All right, Coach, we're going to take first, right? It's Consolvi, right?
It is Consolvi, yep.
I'm going to make sure I'm not breaking off with somebody else. You listen to 4D Sports Talk on the news station. 1320AM WARA online, all one working call when we get back. By the way, 222-1320. We have brand new Taunton High School girls softball coach, Carrie Consolvi. We'll be back with more and her right after this.
You should wear a mask when you're out in public or anytime you are around someone who does not live in your household. If you are sick and interacting with others at home, and when you are caring for someone sick at home, masks should not be worn by children underage 2, anyone who has trouble breathing, or anyone who can't take off the mask without helping others. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. Recommendations provided by Killing Free Restaurant. Have a craving for fried or broiled seafood? The time to drive the day. The Fisherman Free Restaurant, located in Old County Road in Norton, has shrimp, fried, and lobster made to order. Their seafood arrives daily from the ocean to your table with all menu options. But now has special hours of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. for takeout or sit down. They're also for family. For more information, order beautiful front row. Detail 90. No burden of science is less than anything. I'm sure we should back to this on first thing. Sure. What probably did I cover? It's been 20 minutes. I can probably swim. 8:30 next. I can probably read from here. Probably. Ready to get? Hey, I'm sure you'll be fine. Yeah. Please, Silver. You're probably okay. Probably okay is okay, especially when it comes to things that if you're making so check a car or a thing, touch down, it's not good. Unless you can find it in action.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 4D Sports Talk. You can call in at 50-222-1320 on 20WARA. We have new girls softball head coach Carrie Consolvi on the line. Coach, are you still with us?
I'm here, Katie.
Yeah, she's still in the closet. Can't put that mop next to it. It's definitely a closet. All right, once just stand. Get sports. Let's go for it.
All right, so Mark Overland, the Taunton. Yeah, that's right. Said you are the perfect coach to take Taunton into the future. What do you think of his comment about that?
I mean, don't worry, I have a hard time saying his name too. Otto Vinelli, or I just call him Otto.
Yeah, that's his nickname.
But that's very kind of him, and I appreciate his kind words. Otto has been nothing but supportive again through the transition and helpful. As you guys imagine, along with just daily practices and planning games, there's a lot of other things go in managing, especially during these times with COVID, and everything's done very professionally. So I hope that I make him proud and represent school well, and continue to have a successful program there, and live up to what their hopes are for the future. Like I said, there's some big shoes to fill there. It's a program that comes with a very big reputation, and hopefully I can absolutely take them into the future. I'd love to spend next decade there like these two coaches. Nothing would make me happier.
He also has that quiet personality too. He's a hard guy to read. Nice guy, great guy to talk to, but once he's set in his ways, he's like anybody else. He has the last word. He's the AD.
He does, and he's a pastor. Remember, he's one of those at home. So
So he can relate.
I completely speak the language, and so far, everything, the communication is great, and I could not ask for any more. Very, very supportive, and really that's all you can ask for of a program is just to have somebody who's supportive, helpful, who has your back, and he definitely all three of us. So I find myself, very fortunate to have an athletic director like him, who was right there, and he makes himself available, which is important right now because I'm learning things every day, and sometimes it's mistakes, but it's a mistake that I'll never make again. So I'm looking forward to this first season and filling in and having a routine and things appropriately laid out moving forward.
I don't know, but I think the last name might help a little bit. I said, so last name could help a little bit.
Good thing I used the married name then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Coach Consolvi.
Yeah.
That's funny. What do you got, kid?
Yeah, so what was first impression of your players and how you got to know them as players?
That's a good question, and keeping I'm still learning about my players. I mean, if you really think about this, I mean, we hit the go button, and now we 2 days have only had together 3 practices, a scrimmage, and a game. So if you think about that, is very little time, not only to assess your players physically, mentally, but then to understand the work, get to know them, what drives them. So that is definitely a evolving process. I know that we have a group of physically talented softball players. Everybody comes down has something to offer and to get on this team, and will contribute. I have no doubt about that. I think for me, and for me, my assistant Jordan Wade, the coaching staff, one of the most difficult things will be how to bring this group together. These players, different ages, they're not always, friends, but they're, or necessarily close friends, they're friendly, but not close friends that are off the field. So how do you bring them together to understand that when you step in between those lines, that everybody has each other's back and that you're all fighting for the same goal and happy for each other? That's definitely going to be our challenge, because our team's switched. Everything is rush, go, and you're trying to build a team concept. So. But I have talented players, I have smart players, and I have motivated players, and I definitely have players who come ready every day to give their all. That's what I've noticed so far.
Yeah, Coach, leading off your answer to Casey's question, I wanted to know, how has COVID affected your ability to connect and ingratiate yourself with the girls on your team?
Yeah, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's such a good question. It's such a difficult question. And I can go to the answer to that. You know that everything is rushed. That, like, you're trying to lay down, just going over fundamentals and cleaning up some physical stuff. And COVID has definitely added the challenge of everything being like, nobody has fast forward, but everything's on warp speed. So where you typically would have a few weeks to settle in, to get to know everybody, to create your lineup, know your strengths and weaknesses. It's sort of evolving right now on the fly. So, I'm still learning where to put the puzzle pieces to set us up to be the most successful that we can. No doubt, and it takes a few games to do that. Where a lot of that gets ironed out traditionally, before you go into a game, before you go to your first, and then it still evolves. But this is like someone gets up the work speed. So it's almost like working backwards. We're gonna have to go in and peel it apart and make sure that now all the puzzle pieces are where we want it. And so it's not like a reverse plan or a reverse season in my mind. So the good thing is that hopefully once we're 36 weeks and we get out of the off, no matter what, we've still figured out how and where we want to be going into that part of the season.
I know now your staff is just Coach Wade.
It's myself and Coach Wade. We're also accompanied by Dr. or Kate. Maybe which one's married and which one's made it. This is a former player at Taunton High School.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ohio.
Yeah.
So she also comes in and sees my team staff. She'll be in twice next week, and she's not for long. And then I still have Mr. Altman, who is supportive, and she's a mom right now and focusing on her little boy, but she can contribute for us, which is nice as well.
I just have one complaint. We had to Coach Foxley on the bat during practice. I mean, I think he intimidates the kids sometimes out there. At least that's what I saw.
That's what you saw. I think Coach Fox has been there long and do whatever Coach Foxley said.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. I was seeing out there, and I went out there and I looked at the practice. They were just stretching on. She was starting to go to work. I was like, you guys be looking at the same one. But what turnout you guys had? You guys had a big. You guys filled a whole. You had an outfield, and when you stretch doing your circle, you reach almost all second base, like from almost left center field. You started in right on the foul line. When all the girls were stretched out in a big circle, you were down inside the infield grass, second, almost in the left center field. It's a big lot of kids.
Right, and we're fortunate because softball numbers are down everywhere, high school, not only Massachusetts, but regionally and probably nationally. All that is very good. So a lot of schools now are scrambling for the freshman teams. They're scrambling to make a varsity JV roster. We're fortunate enough to have around 44 try out, which for Taunton is actually a low amount. In the past they've been anywhere from the 50 to 60 range. Again, we're on the higher end of that, where a lot of programs are scrambling just for varsity JV teams. So I'm very grateful for where I am, where we are, and that we have the numbers we did.
So my question is, with you guys, it seems like the girls did not lose a stop, and captain at the helm, if you will. But also, we're in the Davenport, right? Out of the hockey, the Davenport. So, it's a larger one, yeah. So, with that being said, let me turn on my mic because I'm blowing myself out. Sorry. Besides you, supposed to be out there, which I expect all the year, every year, comes a high school girls softball. Who else will be competing at the Davenport divisional title? Anything come to mind?
To be honest, I'm not super clear with competitive-wise. I mean, I know Katie will be there with us. We scrimmaged them last week, but I know we see them in 4 weeks. It will be a completely different, game between the two of us. Yeah. And then I would say Albro is usually always right there and very competitive.
Yeah, I was thinking Emma Franklin.
And I was going to say Frank probably be.
Usually too.
So, and then we are actually, I'm trying to remember, we're the Kelly Rec. Davenport.
Oh, that's right, you're in the Kelly Rex. I'm sorry. Davenport's a small one. Yeah, Stone's in the Davenport. I'm slowly starting to remember.
I know, I'm kind of dig that. And again, Cambridge is traditionally pretty competitive, and I don't know where they're at now. So, I haven't, spent a lot of time diving into all the teams. As I said, we've hit the warp speed, but I've been focused on us.
Absolutely. Right, we are getting ready. Here we go.
You can be around others 10 days after you got tested for COVID-19. To learn more, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus.
If you tell someone struggling with cancer, tell them about the present, better clothes, better age, safety, would you notice the 15-year-old boy who got struck off? Or a mother who's injured and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose between medicine or groceries. I am one American who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day that you wonder, I am hungry in America. Hunger Fitness. Learn why at IamHungryInAmerica.org. Brought to you by the Network to Face Wrong and Amazon.
My apologies, but in the upper practice report on behalf of our executive board and entire membership, we would like to say thank you to all the residents of business for their unwavering support through this pandemic. Words cannot describe the gratitude felt, the generosity of those who have donated much needed supplies, PPE, and meals to our members on the front lines of this COVID-19 epidemic each and every day. The coronavirus has members news last month, having 11 members and 2 tested positive, with 1 member even hospitalized due to the severity of symptoms. In addition, having several members quarantined and increased COVID responses throughout the community. As you can imagine,
I'm just welcome back to 4D Sports at WARA 1320AM radio. We're interviewing Coach Consalvi, the new softball women's softball coach.
Perfect. All right, we got to turn off Alexa. Alexa, stop. I don't know if it worked. Coach, you with us?
I'm here.
We're fighting Alexa too in the background. I was waiting for Casey to get from her break end. For those of you who can hear echo, because the TV's on in the lobby too. But how much do we hold on for at least another 20 minutes?
Yeah, we'll try.
All right, awesome. So we want to thank Coach Consalvi for entertaining us in the locker room over at. No, I'm kidding.
Good one.
So the closet, there you go. So do you have anyone you're looking for, before we go on the round table here? Do you have anyone you're looking forward to that you want to play this year? Like the personal, yeah, we did it, or yeah, I felt like I gave the girls my best, and this is where we're at. And, that type of analogy. I know jump around a little bit, but is there any certain team in your schedule come on right off and you look at it?
I mean, I'm definitely, again, just from a little bit of history, like definitely we scrimmaged them last week, but I'm definitely looking forward to playing KP. We play Attleboro Day, it's a good game, along with North Attleboro. So, and those schools that I know that we usually get and are competitive with, I look forward to all of them. I mean, all these teams can be competitive at any given day. So really it should look across the field, or across the line. But yeah, no, I'm just looking forward to getting out there and playing, period, with these girls, with this group on the field, and competing and, competing for it all.
There you go. All right, guys.
Yeah, I got one. Okay, so Coach, I was wondering, with such a unique viewpoint of the game, Hall of Fame collegiate athlete, how does it affect your approach to teaching the art of softball?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so, I mean, I think sometimes you just have to remove yourself from that clarity and remember that now you are the teacher, right, or the coach. So, as a player, I was very serious. I still am that way, but you have to remember you're dealing with players, you're dealing with young players, you're dealing with youth, and that they are there to learn the game, to have positive experiences, and, to learn. So, that being said, I can't take my seriousness and my confidence and my ability to, and for lack of you want to stare at these players for game. So you need to learn, even, game is made up of more failures than successes. I mean, that's what soccer baseball. You're going to fail more than you're going to succeed. It's just a physical, fact. So how do you, mentor these players that it's okay to fail, and what you do over, or beyond that failure, that's going to make the difference. That's going to make you a ball player. That's going to lead to wins. It's going to lead to championships. So I have to remember that I'm not a player. I'm in the team, the mentor part of the game, and although some of my experiences and some of the great coaches I had along the way, I hope that some of the wisdom that was given to me as a player, I can now impart to the players.
No, she broke down your question really good. No, absolutely. That was pretty cool. All right, which one of you guys are going next?
I'll go next.
We're going to start flipping coins at something.
Oh, you can rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
All right.
My turn?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you just flip one.
So, Coach, what advice can you give to the younger girls that want to play softball in high school and college?
Focus on fundamental games, little key things that you think are boring and, seem to be nagging. Nothing more important than learning and working and developing the fundamentals, and to always have a positive attitude. To come with, effort and attitude are the two biggest attributes that any coach could ask for. If you've got a positive attitude and you give 100%, we can make anything happen. And so to always give back effort, to come positive, come to learn, and as a younger player, focus on those fundamentals. When the coach is having you break down the throws, do the groundwork and glove work, don't fast forward to the game. Get those little details and do them well, because then it's just going to carry over your game and make the game easier for you.
You lost one, your turn.
All right, so my next question is, what was it for you, an all-star player, before you played softball in college?
Yeah, so I played obviously high school, and I played travel ball and all that. And I think well, I was supposed to be active in the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago because of COVID. It's been on delay, so I'll have a chance to revisit. I got to tell you, it's been so long, guys. I don't remember a lot. But you know, again, all of those successes as a player, you know, just rounded out my passion for the game and has kept me close to the game, has always kept the game close to my heart, and has translated over to me wanting to coach and continue to foster those experiences for other soft players, no matter what level, no matter what age. You know, the game gave me so much. And for a while I walked away from the game, and now I come back and I want to give back to the game and to these players what it gave to me. You know, it's beyond what happens on the field. You know, it teaches you so many life lessons: how to work with others, how to be part of a team, how to focus, how to deal under pressure. I mean, my job now is a pretty high pressure job, and I would never be able to do this if I hadn't been a softball player who could be in a game. You know, the 7th inning, 2 runs on, 2 outs, you're down by a run, and you produce. You know, can you clear the mechanism and can you come up with a hit? And you know, I learned to do that. I was able to do that in high pressure situations in high school and in college, and I think that really transit over to the human being I am now, the job that I do now. So my hopes are to you know, help players of today understand that it's much more than the game. You know.
I was just thinking of that movie when you clear the mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Costner. You guys remember that movie?
For the love of the game, right?
That was for the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was at Yankee Stadium. And the Yankee fan won't say anything else, but there's been Yankees. And he got in the hell, and he's a fictional character, obviously.
Maybe doesn't ring a bell to me.
You know, look at Kevin Costner for the love of the game. It's really
Good
cool.
movie.
It's actually a love story, believe it or not, based
okay.
on baseball. And it's not that yucky. It's actually really cool. And he'd get on the mountain, he'd be looking at the catcher and say, clear the mechanism. And you can see his peripheral vision, you know, the fans went like blurry, which was really cool.
Oh,
And then he just pitched. Then the next thing, then after the game, he's thinking about the love of his life. He looks over the scoreboard and he says, no one's been on base yet? You know what I mean? And you know, it was Detroit, so you know how bad Detroit is. And 50 after his playing sketch. I can't remember the last time I've seen this, he says. He says, tell you the truth, I've never seen this. No hitter, being a no hitter. You know what I mean? They play this movie.
I haven't seen it.
That's right. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. So, Coach, what's my question? I think I'm falling back. I think it's either Joe or Casey's question. What's the hardest thing to teach these kids to make the transition to basketball? Is it more speed? I'm thinking more speed because the game's so faster. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think initially, part of it is the speed of the game. After this next level, pitching gets better. And, you know, initially it seems like it's got that environment. And, you know, one just keeps producing and buying. Kelsey White is another pitcher, Simpson, who is amazing to already watch. And, you know, but these kids go to, you know, they go home. It's an hour at home. They're motivated. They go to lessons. And I find especially these pitchers who have this, you know, great work ethic are ahead of the hitters. You know, a couple of years to that level of pitching. You know, not only definitely in our case, we've had the luxury of having these great arms. Speed of the game, and again, the pressure, right? The pressure.
Yeah, it's
having
the top stage of high school ball.
Yeah, and everything elevated around you. Everybody is around you. You know, and we've already seen this year. A couple of my younger players, you know, have that moment when they look around and oh, I'm standing, you know, next to Roberts or so and so, or you know, right? How did I get it? And nerves come through. Here that you can play elsewhere, no nerves, you know, and the mouth going and talking and being, and then come up and they stand next to, you know, again, these players who have brought lots of success and a lot of tradition, and so getting to nerves, being on that beach. You know, like, you know, okay, this is big time. I need to learn and to settle in and find me in my game. You know, and that's what we're trying to accept those younger kids and to teach them and for them. You know, what well.
Absolutely. We had to take our break, and when we get back, we'll up to Coach Consalvi. I said it right. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm still working on Joe's name, though. I still keep on butchering Joe's name. Right now, he's a high school volunteer working to be hopefully a career guy after he gets out of college.
Wonderful.
Right. So when we get back, look at Consalvi from Taunton High School. She's the brand new girls softball coach there again at Taunton High School. If you want to call in, 508-222-1320. So you can also listen if you're getting a car range. You can go to our website, all140sportstalk.com, to the podcast, or you can choose when you drive it. We'll be back with more right after this.
Spaces when you are around people who do not live in your household. To join time with others, remember to stay at least 2 meters or 6 feet away from others. Wear a mask, wash your hands often, or use hand sanitizer, and stay out of crowded places if possible. To learn more, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus.
Anyway.
Hello everyone and welcome back to 40 Sports News Station 1320 AM. We are here with the Newton girls softball head coach Carrie Consalvi. So Coach Mike, my last question for you is you mentioned you played baseball in your younger age. So do you have a favorite MLB player and why is that?
That's a good question. I don't have a favorite MLB player, but I will tell you I was prepping after the other day, and I said to move on. Not one of my players knew who that was.
I'm not surprised.
Oh wow.
I saw that age here.
Ball was a good contact when we hit the ball.
Hit the ball, yeah.
Right.
But we were just, but I just forget, anyways, how quickly how old you get,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Coach, we're getting ready. We're going to wrap this up again. Scores are doing. I know I can speak for everyone at 4 Deep Sports Talk and everyone here at the station, WARA 1320AM. We wish you all the best. And you're going to help us out shooting us some scores. And hopefully, I'll see you around at a couple home games, maybe a couple big games. But again, all the best of luck on Taunton High this year.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for the great questions. And the
Thanks for coming on, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Hopefully, I'll see you guys at games.
You got it. Take care. Bye-bye. And that was head coach Carrie Consalvi from Taunton High School, again, a brand new girls softball coach over there. So with that being said, Joe, myself, and the sports master, we're going to dive into the Friday night scores as I play up the music. And we'll go through these. We'll get the music right up. Let's play the music. All right. So we'll hit.
Choke on the water, jeez.
Oh, no, it's people. All right. Here we go, boys. Baseball, East Conference. Framingham over Brookline 7-3. Newton North over Newton 6. Braintree over Weymouth 7-1. Walpole over Newton 3-0. Catholic Central, Austin Prep over Sudbury 12-2. Bishop Stinger over Spelman 13-2. Alton Catholic Cathedral 12-0. Continue on, boys baseball. Eastern Athletic Conference, which I don't think exists anymore. But anyway, like I mentioned before, I had crossed the Spelman 13-2. Hawkmock, Franklin over Foxborough 7-1. Northborough over King over 4-2. Mansfield over All Ranks 3-1. Patriot League, Silver Lake over Plymouth North 7-5. Hingham Marshfield 8-5. Super 23-2. Clinton over 6-5. Finishing up boys baseball, Plymouth South over Pembroke 10-0. South Shore League, Mathfield over Dennis Sherman 6-0. South Shore Christian or Hull 11-2. Tri-Valley Conference, Bellingham over Mount Mills 42. Adam over Norton 5-1. Delaware over Medley 13-12. Medfield over Holliston 14-4. Hawkinton over West with 3-1.
Yeah, it's on the back.
Yeah, I messed it up again. Field hockey, South Coast, Somerset, Little Park 12-2. Seacock over Fairhaven 35-21. Boys golf for Punkville, Dayton Hobeth 241-243. Now we're getting lacrosse. Bay State Conference. Wellesley over Braintree 15-1. Jacob over Framingham 11-1. Newton North over Walpole 7-5. Here we go. That one's really nice. Milton over Brookline 7-6. Needham over Weymouth 15-0. Finishing up Hawkmock with boys lacrosse. It is Foxborough Norfolk 17-4. Runs over Attleboro 12-5. And today 3:45. King football goes Stoughton. Girls lacrosse. Nope, that's it. No, 2 months ago.
Okay, for softball in the Bay State League, Framingham defeated Brookline by score 6-4. Newton defeated Natick by score 4-2. Braintree shut out Weymouth by score 26-0. And Walpole defeated Needham by score 9. The Patriot League, Quincy overtook Hanover by score 4-3. Marshfield beat Hingham by score 6-3. Silver Lake defeated Plymouth North by a score of 17-6, and Park and Plymouth South will be playing 4 p.m. today. Continuing on, Scituate lost to Northie by a score of 14-2, and the South Shore League, Millborough defeated Bridgewater Ram by a score of 6-0. In Tri-Valley, Mills defeated Bellum by a score of 11-3. Norton defeated Dedham by a score of 7-3. Overshore Warren defeated Medway by a score of 16-6. Halston defeated Medfield by a score of 23-12. Continuing on softball, Norwood defeated Ashland by a score of 17-4. And boys in the Bay State League, Newton North and Native will play at 3:45 p.m. today. Brookline defeated Framingham by a score of 5-0. Walpole lost to Needham by a score of 4-1, and Weymouth Braintree will be playing at 3:45 p.m. today. In the Catholic Central League, Colonel Spelman fell to GPM by a score of 5-0, and the Patriot League, North fell to Scituate by a score of 5-0. Then boys tennis, Plymouth South of Pembroke by a score of 5-0, Hanover defeated Quincy by a score of 5-0. In the Tri-Valley League, Medfield won over Hillside by a score of 4-1. In girls tennis and Bay State League, Brooklyn and Framingham will be playing at 4:30 p.m. today. Natick Newton North will be playing at 3:45 p.m. Braintree Weymouth will be playing at 3:45 p.m. as well. And Needham defeated Walpole by a score of 5-0.
All right, continuing with girls tennis in the Eastern Athletic, Bishop Freedom beat Cardinal Spellman 5-0. In Tri-Valley, Medfield beat Holliston 5-0. In Bush Track, Bay State, Newton North 84, Framingham 52. In Hawkmock, Mansfield 85, Attleboro 47. Moving on to girls track, in Bay State, Newton North 102, Framingham 38. In Hawkmock, Oliver Ames 80, Sharon 53. Franklin 91, King Phillip 45. In girls track, Mansfield 93, Attleboro 43. Moving on to boys volleyball. In Bay State, Brookline 3, Newton North 1, and the final 3 team, Bree 3, Emmett 0, Natick 3, Framingham 0, Needham 3, Wesley 0, in South Alliance, Quincy 3, Greater New Bedford 1, North Quincy 3, Barnstable 2, and today at 5:15 p.m., Brockton versus Durfee. In boys volleyball, Taunton 3, New Bedford 1, Tri-Valley, Nipmunk 3, Medfield 0, and girls volleyball, South Coast Rochester 3, Case 0. And that's everything.
Good job, guys. Isn't that fun? That was fun. I loved that. So Lucy was just talking about audio coming in and out in the video. We'll mention that to Jim Jones. So next week's show is kind of up in the air. We're trying to get the new volleyball coach over at Tiffany.
Yeah, Teddy Risky's wife.
Yep. So, Coach Brewski.
Coach Brewski,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's all right.
Brewski.
Yeah. So, Coach, try to get volleyball Coach Brewski on. If we can't, we'll log with Plan B. So, if you can find out by Wednesday, it doesn't respond. We'll try to move on to something else. All the other playoffs are matching up last night. I guess it was last night in South Conference. Seacon beat Fairhaven in, believe it or not, football. It was for the blue. They call it the gold division. So the smaller schools, kind of like the Hawkmock does, and they've done congratulations to the senior school. They are the go within South Coast football champions. So congratulations to them. I think what else we got the award ceremonies for people chime in. We're gonna try to go live. Try to stream it live. We have a DJ we hired to hopefully play a little bit. You can. Right now, looks like it's only 3 out of 4. Unfortunately, haven't heard back from Matt Bowen. Hopefully, maybe this show I'll have his trophy. I'll have his plaque though. And of course, I'm bringing the winner from the boys basketball winner for this year. Hopefully, the show doesn't know what it's going to be. So that's going on tonight at 7 on the Facebook channel. You can check out. That should be everybody bios. Hopefully, they'll say a couple words. And then I'm going to go eat some pizza. And that's it. So that's going to describe...
Can't go wrong with pizza.
Can't go wrong with pizza. I'm going to say with pizza, making me bite. I got to try to stay with like chicken Caesar salad or something, like extra onions and tomatoes, flavor it out a little bit. So what do you guys? You have a game today at 5.
Yeah, 5 p.m.
Let's talk about that. Girls Lacrosse, big fan.
Yeah, Bishop Fian. I'm not fully sure they're facing. Yeah, I have on the sheet out there, though.
Okay. Someone listening wants to see Girls Lacrosse.
I have to find out the details from the last stream. I emailed that athletic director to find out. He hasn't responded yet. I should have that for next week's show, though.
Yeah, tell them we're trying to promote the program. For crying out loud. Tell them 0 plus 0 equals 0 in cost. Just saying. Because all we do is care about the kids and be a way to promote, what's going on with Fian Athletics. He's checking his mail.
Yeah, no, he has not responded.
that was pretty quick. All right, 4. Joe DeVers.
Joe DeVerns.
DeVerns. I got a long way to remember that, but I got to do better. Catherine Conley, a.k.a. Casey, as Ava kind of side eyes. Did you work this morning?
What?
We got to take off. And the Sportsmaster, we'll catch you next time.
Well, that is just on time.